Hello everyone and welcome back to Anno 1800 Megacity Edition. Looking at Crown Falls, our glorious smaller village there. It is still quiet out there, no attack as of the moment. Speaking about attacks, we just had an attack on our capital there just a few minutes ago and the siege is over, though I've learned something from that. We're not going to build here anymore as long as I don't have any kind of defense that we can reinforce our fishermen. Instead, we're going to have our fishermen on that side here. Before I do that, however, I'm going ahead here and I'm going to upgrade a few more districts. So this is a new full area that we can use now here. The same goes also for these last buildings up there, thanks to having enough timber. And since we have so much timber, let's also go ahead and upgrade a few more blocks of houses. While I was checking that, speaking about defense, we don't need weapons for that. We have a weapons factory already working, but I think it's not enough. We should have some steel surplus here that we can work with, because two of those steel works here are not consuming 2 furnaces. So I'm going ahead and I'm going to build one more weapon factory rather close here, right? So in this side here, and let's just build this one as well. So 2 of them are working now at plus 50% as well, so at 150% efficiency. Another level up there, by the way, level 18 now. So these levels are tied to my population. Global population, we're coming close to 7,000. Money is still bad though, very tight here. 5,000 only on the coin, not so much, and I'm definitely not sure that we can really afford that much. Perhaps a few warships, but mostly a few cannons for our harbor area. Now these industries are working now. Holy moly, that's expensive. And we continue down here with the fish industry. While we do that, once again, my clippers are under attack. I think I will just have to give them up at some point, because Princess Jing's warships are not giving up. They're really chasing them. It doesn't matter how many or where these clippers are. She's finding them and destroying them. It's her utmost goal. Alright, I've meanwhile been building a few more fishermen, so we can use those guys here and later on those guys here if I still need them, right? They do have a harbor connection. After all, I can use those though right away, and we're doing that. We have all the timber, and let's just build this full block. And my hope then, well, is that she's not attacking those fishermen, right? Because we do have some smaller defense here, and also the queen, of course, is in our harbor area, because we're still having this quest, and of course we were given this land here by the queen herself, so she's overseeing my construction. Now we have a bit of more money again. We don't have the happiest of workers at the moment, so I have 2 options at the moment. Do I want to build a church? That would cost me quite a bit of money here. So as we can see, 2,500 coin that I could afford 2 times for those workers here. That would though completely deplete my income, or my bank account, more or less. So I'd rather use this for the next production chains. For that, I'm going to need my pig heads over here. Let's go ahead, and I already have a warehouse. So I'm going ahead now and I'm going to have like 4 pig farms. As we can see, 2,500 coin that cost me. So as much as a church, really. Very expensive, those pig farms.
What's going on?
And that also means at the same time that I can have now my slaughterhouses slaughtering the piggies. Yes, ship under attack, that is, yeah, happening quite a lot at the moment. 4 of them I've built, that means I can build 4 slaughterhouses. Well, let's have the warehouse here, and then I'm going ahead with those 4 slaughterhouses. Another 2,000 coin that we had to pay for this. It's also reducing the attractiveness of Crown Falls, so we are lowering here, and we're now only a quaint port town, so we're not anything higher than that anymore. Nice enough while still remaining deeply weird. That is probably the motto right now of our city, and probably of my whole persona as well. Now those slaughterhouses cost me something, and it's going to take a while before the first sausages is coming in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to pause the sausage and the soap consume, and I'm going to instead upgrade a few more farmers there to workers. We still have plenty of people that we can upgrade, and I go ahead and I'm just upgrading all of them, or whoever I can, whoever wants to upgrade, because not everyone wants to upgrade right now in my little town. This is looking a bit weird here right now, but I think it's coming together very nicely then in the future, once we have the tracks here instead of the roads, and once we have trees on either side then to hide these tracks. After all, this is going to be a major train line here for public transportation and also for delivery of oil to my power plants them. The clipper here is still trying to survive, kind of. I think we can stay alive as long as this clipper is in motion. It's not really important because clippers are really cheap to produce again, right? I still want to keep this one away there from me. Now, for my own warships, the heavy warship would take quite some time. We cannot build that yet. I could build Ship of the Lions if I had enough weapons, right? So it's all about these weapons, and of course it's all about my harbor defense. Both of them are working now. In the heavy industry, we have 12 weapons in store, so I might go for something then here. Also, I would really like to go for that New World expedition that is still far away there on my map, and yeah, we still haven't really sent any ship to that. Now, I think some sausage we have in store, around 15-16 tons. That is the moment for me to open up the sausage for my very unhappy workers right now because they're missing the sausage there. I'm going to give it to them now, and I'm also going to blueprint my churches. So I have one here in this area. We're going to have one for this whole district, and then for this one here. They're going to stay for quite some time. At some point, we will then remove them for big plazas or something like that once we have the skyscrapers. Last but not least, we have the soap production. After that, we could already upgrade our workers to artisans, so tier 2 to tier 3 buildings. For that, I'm going to go for another 4 pig farms here with the money that we have. We have a nice income there at the moment, so I can use that. Let's also build this warehouse because one warehouse is not going to be enough anymore. Also, on that side here, where we have our soap production, I can go ahead. Let's build the fire station and the warehouse. Let's build 4 rendering works that we will have here. And with that, I can also build 2 soap factories over here. That's all the money that I had. We're out of it. We're out of money. I'm trying something here. I'm trying to sell my clippers. Unfortunately, old Nate doesn't want my clippers. I thought actually that we could sell them here. I was, well, severely mistaken about that, so I have to get my ship back home again. I've already also outlined my basic first defense here. I can't build them yet. Each tower cost me 4,000 credits. Nothing I can do about that. What I could do is, though, I could build ships because they only cost me materials and no money, but I'm still lacking the appropriate materials for that. That is, well, weapons. What I can do in the meantime is I'm going ahead and upgrading a few more people here, and I think we had a fire, so there's also some ruins once again. And with that, we have another upgrade, 21 level up to 151 influence points that we would have available now for ships, islands, defense, and propaganda. With tiny bit of money that I do have, however, I'm going for the coal, the next coal mine over there that we need for our furnaces. And that allows me now to have 2 more furnaces up here. That costs me another 1,000 to double my steel production. Now, steel we're going to need for quite a few things, not only the weapons and the steel beams, but also then for sewing machines, for example, and the steam motors later on.
Your people are rioting.
Oh, and then we got the first riot, I think it is, down here. And this is actually a riot that was incited by Hugo Mercier because we have the anarchist flags everywhere. There I will need a police station somewhere close by. Can we afford the police station? 2,500 credits. We cannot afford a police station at the moment. That is a shame. Cannot afford the police stations. This riot will last for quite some time, I think, if I can't find appropriate... First of all, we do need a location for it. So that's the one here, right? That we have a bit of a location for one police station at least. For a second one, it will get tricky. We might have to build one up here for now, because I really don't want to destroy any more buildings for now. Okay, lo and behold, with the sausage income, not only do we level up more, we are at 8,400 people. I can also afford my first police station, so let's just have this one in the center here. Hopefully it's fast enough. We can also make a connection here, otherwise there's no way for the police to get up there. Oh my, the biggest riot yet that we have. Those people are really angry, no idea why. I'm actually providing everything they want. Alright, and they're stuck here now. I think they're going to set all of this here aflame once more. Where are they going? I think they wanted to go down the street and now they realize that's actually a dead end. Ah, now they've realized it and now they march in the other side. Towards the main street, of course. Oh, and there's also some Princess Jing warships there on the horizon once more. Hugo Mercier is at least offering us trade rights without any other demand that he's making. I'm all in for that. That's plus 10 reputation from him, and that means we can also trade now with him. We could also sell stuff if we want to. Let's try to flatter him once more, so this is doing something. Princess Ching, we're at 0 there once again. There's really, it's hopeless. We are going to have an endless war with her, I guess. But with Brenta and Hugo Mercier, it's looking a bit better there.
You're too kind.
Police is now working. We can mobilize them to set out a few more, and now please beat them down. Oh, and look at that. This is just revolution here. But now we can finally beat them down. I guess we could beat them down, so please do it.
So brave.
Unfortunately, they're just trying it with
lives
talking, and
saved.
it seems like talking is working. How very unfortunate. Meanwhile, in some other parts of the city, people are really happy. It's those guys here in the town center, and yeah, they have everything they want, so we can give them the next upgrade. There it is. Tier 3 buildings, artisans in Crown Falls. Beautiful houses, and let's just do this for this block here as well, and we might also do it for those guys. And those guys. And then we are actually limited by timber once more. We have reached the city status as well, and with that the zoo, lots of ornaments, and of course lots of new productions. With the artisans we have some better taxpayers, so 1,500 credits coming in right now out of that, with 800 artisans, right? So my coin is going up a bit. And as we can see, the streets are getting really busy. So many cars now appearing here with the artisans. No steam cars yet, no bicycles yet. I love the details, how my population changes with the right amount of people living in here. Now, lacking a church makes also the artisans now really unhappy. As we can see, we also have now angry artisans, and they're at minus 23. So I should change this really and give them the church they want. Let's build this one here first. 2,500 credits, goodbye. But at least we got this beautiful building there. And this should make artisans a bit happier. Minus 10 only now. Another way of making them happy would be to provide beer, rum, or the variety theater. But well, that is not in my path yet. In my path is my consumptions rates. They're out of the roof here at the moment, especially my sausage is negative, so I will need to provide more slaughterhouses, which in turn costs me more money again. And thus, well, we need to continue with the next pig farms here. Let's actually have 5 this time, and there's another 2 that we can build, so that's 7 more pig farms that we have, and that means a couple more slaughterhouses and a couple more soap factories. It's also time to once again reinforce my material production. For that we do have those brick factories that I haven't, that we only have 2 for now. So now we are adding another one. That means then that I do have 3 brick production sites that we can use. Fires are really breaking out a lot right now everywhere in my city. So we're going ahead here with another fire station, just close enough to those, and it's already some ruins there once again. Alrighty, and yep, there's the propaganda. I will have to use heavy propaganda this time. We're going with lots of income there, lots of negative consumption, and lots of happiness. That leads me, let's make 10 happiness out of that, so we save a bit of our influence there. He's also offering us a propaganda quest. I have to decline. We do need it for something else, and there we have now 1,100 income as of the moment, and we should be having some nicer consumption rates once more. So the soap especially there is pretty looking good. The bread is though still at 0, so we can't really do anything about that for now. We can see that with the consumer goods, bread is stable, so that's another money sink that I have to unfortunately do. That is more grain farms, so we need, yeah, those 4 here, which will lead to another 4,000, 5,000 credits that we need to pay here. Let's have the warehouse, and with that I can have another 2 flour mills that we're going to use up here, and another 4 bakeries that I can use. And once again, very expensive. I will also need to think about upgrading this market house here, or warehouse now, because it's pretty bad looking. He offers me a pickup quest and he would give me some bread in return. I'm also going to decline this one here. I'm sorry, Hugo, I can't do these missions as of the moment. We're going to have another bakery here, and then I will have 1 more here. And there we have a warehouse. It's a bit further away, so I might actually be contemplating about something like that. We can still squeeze in some production buildings then here as well. 4 bakeries would actually squeeze in. We could squeeze in there, so that's fine. Let's have the warehouse.
A careless disposition.
And then the last bakery. So this whole production is working now too. Down to 200 credits again. 700 income. Not a whole lot. Really not a whole lot. How's my basic production looking? So the work cloth, fine, fish is fine, and schnapps is fine. That means, well, we can have some more farmers. And for that, I would gladly use my timber that I already have quite a lot of in store. We can make this whole row here now full. And I think we are going for that. We do have another major road here. Do we want to use that as a major road? Or do we just use this one here as a major road? That's the tricky one. We have a major road here and here. Another one. Let's make it a double road at least, right? We could also make it a triple road. Let's make it a triple road. Here we could have then some trees or something. And here we can continue with some more houses. We're going to make these blocks here now. Since this is also going to be skyscraper terrain later on, I would like to use the Bell Vista bonus that we can have then on these skyscrapers. So these blocks here are working just fine. Plus they're also looking pretty cool. It's not looking so cool if everything is looking the same though. So we're going to add at least some smaller variety to this one. Right, so there again. So this one. And here we can then continue with those blocks here if I want to. At least here on the outer side. Let's use them 2 times. And I might use those blocks here then once more to add a bit more variety. Bear in mind that even if we use these layouts now, right, we are going to completely mess around with them again later on. Since I'm not going to go with one layout only anyway. This one, yep, let's just make this one full. We could also make this one here full if we want to. Like so. You know what? Let's keep this one clear here and just use it as a smaller, well, avenue than if we want to. We do have the marketplace here, so another marketplace will be then somewhere over in this area for now. And of course, we do need some more roads then that we can build. And also, of course, we're going to get rid of some of these buildings again here. Just the 1 block alley. It's just these buildings here. Of course, with some streets in between. Alrighty, we have the timber. I think it's time to just build them now. We have also the production, which is the important thing. I'm also going ahead with this warehouse there and a marketplace, and then also with the pub right next to it for those people here. Very close now to the industrial zone there.
They helped me a lot.
More and more people over here as well. We do need the workforce and we do need the income from that. Do we have a fire right now still? I think down here we still have something, but only ruins as far as I can see. Now, of course, having a low storage as us at the moment with 140 tons only means that we have very little time to react to any shortages if they appear. So I definitely would like to add some more storage. We have those depots that we can add in the harbor area. Unfortunately, well, they're also rather expensive. Let's add one here in the center, and then here along the coastline we could also add at least 2 there. Perfect. That do kind of look like they belong to a harbor. Let's also have a road here, like so. And that would add then quite a lot of additional storage here, 150 tons in addition. Unfortunately, 2,500 credits, we'll still have to wait on that. Now that I think about it, I think this is going to be an epic looking skyscraper building here, right? Like Wayne Tower, for example. One of the tier 5 skyscraper category, surrounded by tier 4 with its own entrance there. This is going to look cool. I like this design already, and we're probably going to use this block design here a bit more often now, especially here in the town center. Now we have enough timber, so I would like to go ahead and also finish the next blocks here. We still have some headroom there for our consumption, right? We're still not really utilizing all of the factories that we have. So plenty of more room for more and more farmers that we can add. Also, we haven't built the pub over there in all its glory. Beautiful red roof there. Of course, people need a pub close by. How many buildings can I squeeze in here? This would be fine, right? So these buildings, and later on we might move that away anyway. We have the money. Let's build a storage depot. Let's build this one here first. That's a bit more storage coming in right now. So as we can see, the bar is increasing. Unfortunately, Old Nate really is not purchasing anything from us, which means that we really have to rely solely on our city for any future growth. Now we have a few bricks available. It might be worth it now to build the first paved roads for these farms here. They have not the best market coverage. The market is over there, so if well, it doesn't reach them quite yet. If I build a paved road now, we should be able to reach 100% market coverage. So I'm just trying to do this now. The same goes for the other side. We can afford a few paved roads there at least. That's those guys here. Righto, the first paved ones, and this leads now to 100% market coverage for these buildings here, and that also means that I should be able now perfect to upgrade them finally to workers. Also, it is just much better to walk on paved roads than on dirt roads, especially when it's raining. Lucky we have a fine day. So much timber, I don't even know where to throw it at. Let's throw it into this block here. Another full block coming out of nothing. 10,000 people with that. Hooray, a first milestone has been reached. We're actually going for that quite quickly. So with the skyscrapers, I think we can go way over 100,000 people at some point. But right now, let's just be happy with what we got. It's very important that we continue upgrading some more workers to artisans. Why? Because I really want to unlock the heavy warship. That would be our first measure, a first means to defend ourselves and also to conquer some islands that we need for the further growth rating of our city. Now let's just check this one. Heavy warship, 1,280 artisans we have out of 1,750. My goal is of course to unlock them and then we can finally build them. The ship of the line I could already build if I had enough timber. We have 30 tons. We have way more than that. We have 100 tons of weapons in store right now. So we could also, yep, build our first towers, our first defense here, our first cannon towers. Let's do this with that one and that one. Another thing that becomes quite valuable is the beer production now. So we have a lot of artisans, that means a lot of beer consumers, and a lot of workers, a lot of beer consumers. I usually don't like to go for the beer production right away because it's not worth it up to a certain degree. I think now it's going to start be worth it. We already have the grain farms, so for a beer, our next production, we do need a hop farm still. Now space, as big as this island is getting tighter, right? Because the city itself, of course, still needs lots of space. The riverlands are almost completely entirely reserved for further city growth. We're probably going to have a smaller industrial zone than here as well at some point, and then we have little, you know, Amsterdam or something like that here in the riverlands, but everything else is still reserved. Up here we still have a bit of space. Hop plantations don't need that much space, so I might go ahead and build them here. And there we have them. Now you might say this is a total waste of this location because it's a beautiful location with the waterfall. It's of course where the name is coming from, the Crown Falls here from this mega waterfall. Now of course the hops is only going to stay here temporarily. Once more, let's go ahead and have a warehouse here, and then I'm going to have a warehouse here. Hops plantations are rather slow in production, 1.5 minutes that it takes, so 90 seconds, and thus we don't need that much loading ramps available like this one here. We do have a bit of money. How much does it cost? It's still very, very expensive to build this hops plantation there. Now we do have a beer consumption right now of -4. That means 4 per minute we would need. The brewery is producing every minute, so we do need to have 4 breweries for starters. Breweries are really expensive, with 1,600 for each one of these factories, but also for the malt houses and more importantly the hops plantations. For the 4 breweries, I'm going to need 6 hops plantations right away. So that's those 6 here, and that's 6,000 credits that we just had to pay for those guys. Let's have the warehouse for that. And let's also push out 2 malt houses that we're going to need. That's here in the center. Now for the remaining 4 breweries, I still need to save up some money. Enough time to continue building some more districts. We have 157 timber again, so let's go ahead and have these whole buildings here popping up out of nowhere basically. This one here still needs a road, so this is kind of like the district that is bordering then right to the sewing machine factories. Now, after a bit of time, we do also have a bit of money for the first, let's make it 3 breweries. We still, actually the last one we can also afford, even though right heartfully so, it's down to 0 once more and 700 plus on the balance. Those 4 breweries are now going to start their work soon, as we can see, getting their hops and their malt from the warehouses and then producing some juicy Crown Foods beer for us. And yes, the competitor Princess Ching settled on this last island here too, on the last big island that we have in Cape Trelawney. There's still one more down here, but first of all, it doesn't have some very good fertility and it's just so far away. And since we're at Endless War with Princess Ching, I might just conquer these islands then here at some point again. She cannot afford to build harbor cannons everywhere. Like here, Distant Forest is quite heavily fortified. This new island that she's got, the Western Frontier, she's probably not going to be able to fortify this as well. They're cheating, but they're also bound to some certain rules like influence, so they will not be able to do that. Now I'm just waiting for the beer to flow in, then we can finally, well, unlock it for my people, and then we will see a whole new cash coming in there, a cash balance for the beer, because people really like to pay for alcohol. I totally understand them. Stay tuned.